Dear students, today we will discuss on third chapter, that is chemical messages for homeostasis. Here we completed the first and second chapters and we learned about nervous system in the first chapter and sense organs in the second chapter. In the first chapter, we learned about nervous system. We know that the nervous system is the one controlling and coordinating all the functions of our body. There are some other system also helping for the control and coordination of our body functions. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the system which is helping the nervous system in control and coordination. Here see the name of the chapter itself, chemical messages for homeostasis. You learned about homeostasis. Homeostasis is nothing but maintaining equilibrium of the body by controlling the components in the body. I am not going in detail to homeostasis. This chapter we will learn in detail about the control and coordination done by a particular system named endocrine system. See the figure given. Here let us see the discussion between the two girls based on the figure. What are the discussion going on? Then the first girl is telling, how is it that there is so much difference in height between the two? And here you can see two guys. One is very tall and one is very, very short. And the reply of the girl is, teacher said that it is a hormone related issue. From the discussion we can understand that the height is, the difference in the height or the height of a person is depending on or related with hormone. Have you heard about hormone? Here in the chapter, the beginning of the chapter, the textbook, in the page 35, there is a part to complete. Which are the hormones you know? If you go through the text, you can see that portion. Which are the hormones you know? List them. Try to list some hormones which you know. You might have heard about hormones. The hormones which you know. Just write the hormones which you know. If you go through the text, you can get many hormones, but with your previous knowledge or with your knowledge, whatever hormone you know, just write that. Okay. Now, this system controlling and coordinating the body is endocrine system. We are going to study in detail about endocrine system. Endocrine system is system which are having many glands. Gland means Malayalam grandhigal. Okay. Here you learned about salivary gland. It's a digestive gland producing saliva. Every gland will be producing some secretions. Every gland in the body having some secretion. There are digestive glands. We learned about digestive glands, different digestive glands in class 9. Here we are learning about endocrine glands. The system related with endocrine gland is endocrine system. There is a system in our body named endocrine system. These are the glands of endocrine system. You can see the labeled glands: pineal gland, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, thyroid, thymus, pancreas, adrenal gland, testis and ovaries. These are the endocrine glands which comes under endocrine system. Okay, then what are endocrine system? endocrine system is an organ system that controls and coordinates all activities in the body. This includes endocrine glands and their secretion called hormones. This is the definition we can go, or this is the brief note we can give about endocrine system. The system which controls and coordinates all body activities. Then it includes endocrine glands. I have shown you the glands and their secretion. The secretion of the gland is called as hormones. Okay, endocrine glands. These are the endocrine glands. Different endocrine glands. This is in the endocrine system, and each gland are having some secretions. The secretions are called as hormones. Now, what are hormones? Hormones are chemical messengers that regulate cellular activity. This is the very short note about hormone. Hormones are chemical messengers. It is a chemical substance, or it convey the message through chemicals and regulate cellular activities. All cellular activities are regulated by hormones. There is a role of hormone in regulating the cellular activities. Not only hormone is regulating, but hormones are having a role, very important role in cellular activities. This is what hormone is. Hormones are chemical messengers that regulate cellular activities. These are the 2 points regarding, main point regarding endocrine system. That is one glands and second is hormone. Now another point regarding endocrine gland is, this endocrine glands you can see in the different locations of our body, and the activities, the activities of this hormone in different cells. Okay, the endocrine glands produce hormones. These different glands which are shown produce hormones, and the hormone will be different. Thyroid gland produce a hormone, thymus produce another hormone, pancreas produce another hormone, testes and ovaries produce another different hormones. Different hormones are producing by different gland, and these hormones are transported, or it should reach the cells for their activities. But the thing is that endocrine system do not have their own duct. They don't have its own duct to carry hormone. Then the question arises, how they transport their hormone, how the hormones reach the cells. There is a solution for that. Endocrine system do not have a duct. They are depending on circulatory system for transporting the hormones. Endocrine gland produce hormones, and this hormone are transported through circulatory system. That means it's through blood. Okay, the point behind is endocrine glands do not have its own duct. It is a ductless gland. Endocrine glands are ductless glands. Ductless glands. Okay, so we can call the endocrine glands are ductless glands. There may be a question like, which are the ductless glands in our body? Endocrine glands are the ductless glands in our body. Then how they are transporting hormone? It is transporting hormone through blood. We will see that. Why endocrine? There is a question like, why endocrine glands are called ductless glands? Answer: endocrine glands do not have their own ducts, so they are called as ductless glands. Then how do endocrine glands transport hormone? No duct, but how they transport hormone? Endocrine glands transport hormone through blood. Okay, these are some of the general points regarding endocrine system. Now we will continue. Then about the target cell. Okay, hormone. Here you can see different endocrine glands, and each endocrine gland produce hormones. These hormones are having some target cell. This hormone should reach different cells for their activities. Target cell means the cell where the activity of hormone happens or takes place. The activity of the hormone is in particular cells. That cells are called target cells. Here another point you have to learn is how hormone reach target cells. Here I told you it don't have any duct, but it is having hormone. It should reach cells. Let us see how hormones reach target cells from a gland to a particular cell. How the hormones are transported and reach the concerned cell. Here you can see the illustration. See the figure given in the textbook, or you see the figure in the screen. There is red colored part. It is blood vessel, nothing but blood vessel carrying blood. And in blood, along with the blood, there you can see a bluish part labeled. It is hormone molecule. Generally, glands release hormones to blood whenever required. Then the blood carries these hormone molecules. When it passed through the blood, it reached the cell. Then how the cells identify the hormone? There's a question. Every cell, the cell concerned will be having receptor, hormone receptor. In cell membrane, there will be hormone receptor. This violet colored part is hormone receptor. Okay. The cell which need hormone will be having receptor. When the blood carry hormone, when it pass through the blood, when it reach the cells, the receptor concerned will identify the hormone and receive it. Then here the second diagram you can see the hormone in the receptor. Hormones blue colored, then violet colored receptor, hormone receptor. There is a hormone receptor complex. Hormone and receptor combined together. Further, the action takes place. Now the hormone reached cell. You understood? I hope you understood how hormone reached the cell with the help of hormone receptor. Once it reached the cell, the activity takes place. Let us see how the activity takes place. Hormone reached the cell. Just let me read this paragraph. Only those cells having specific receptors can receive specific hormone. Okay, there will be many hormones. You saw different glands. Each gland are having different hormone. Only those having specific receptors can receive specific hormone. Okay. Cells with specific receptor can receive specific hormone. Each hormone binds with the receptor to form a hormone receptor complex. You saw the hormone receptor complex. This is a hormone receptor complex. Now, once the formation of hormone receptor complex in the cell, enzymes are activated in the cell, within the cell, and certain changes occur in the cellular activities. Here, the cellular activities will be taking place after the formation of hormone receptor complex and the action of hormone happens. This is the way how hormone acts in the cell. Okay. Hormone, first it should reach the blood. From blood, it reach the cells through or help with the help of receptors. Then when it reach the cell, it will combine with, or there will be a combination of receptor and hormone. Further, enzymes in the cell will be activated. Then action will takes place. Different type of actions are there. We will learn it when we learn in detail about each gland. Let us go. These are the points related general about endocrine glands. Now we will see one by one. Before that, there is an indicator, target cell. You have to write it in a notebook. Then formation of hormone receptor complex. How the formation of hormone receptor complex. Then influence of hormone in target cells. Influence of hormone, സ്വാധീനം, ഹോർമോണിൻ്റെ സ്വാധീനം ടാർഗറ്റ് സെല്ലിൽ. Influence of hormone in target cell. Okay, you try to read the textbook and answer the indicators. Then we will go to glands. We have to study each gland in detail. These are the different glands. One by one we have to learn. In the textbook it is given in based on their function. Okay, the order, it is not in this order. It is first we have to study about pancreas. This is the gland we are going to study first. Whenever we study a gland, main points to learn are location of the gland. Location of the gland. Second, hormones of the gland. Okay. Thirdly, function of these hormones. Then another point to study is defects related with the hormone. These are the 4 points to learn whenever we learn a gland. First, let us see, today we will learn pancreas. Let us see the pancreas. Location. Where is the pancreas? Pancreas connected to the duodenum. Duodenum is part of the intestine. Okay, alimentary canal. It is part of alimentary canal. After stomach, the U-shaped part is duodenum. Pancreas is connected with duodenum. Duodenum is the continuation of stomach. Okay, this is the location of pancreas. Pancreas is not only a endocrine gland, it is a digestive gland also. Pancreas is a digestive gland. In pancreas, there are some particular area named islets of Langerhans, cluster of cells. This is it is shown highlighted, this particular part, and in this particular part the blue colored and red colored special cells are there. These cells are called islets of Langerhans. These are the gland part. Hormone producing part of pancreas is this. Okay, in pancreas, cluster of cells named islets of Langerhans. This is the one producing hormone. And in this islets of Langerhans, there are 2 types of cells. It is labeled alpha cell and beta cells. These are the 2 types of cells present in islets of Langerhans, which is in pancreas producing hormone, alpha cell and beta cell. Now let us see which are the hormone producing by alpha cell and beta cell. Hope you understood the location and the nature of the gland, nature of the cell of the gland. See, insulin and glucagon. These are the 2 hormones producing by pancreas. In pancreas, I told you there is cluster of cell named islets of Langerhans. In islets of Langerhans, beta cells, blue colored. Okay, beta cell produce insulin. Alpha cell produce glucagon. You can see alpha cell and beta cell here. Alpha cell, beta cell, different colored cells. Then let us see the function of insulin. Insulin help to, or the function of insulin is cellular uptake of glucose molecule. It is related with glucose molecule. We'll come to that point. Insulin helps to, or the function of insulin is cellular uptake of, or increase the cellular uptake of glucose molecules. Secondly, converts glucose into glycogen in the liver and muscles. Okay, it is based on glucose. The maintaining the level of glucose is the role of this insulin. Then glucagon converts glycogen stored in the liver to glucose. Glycogen to glucose. Then another point, synthesize glucose from amino acid. I will show you the main point based on that. Here the level of glucose in blood. What is the level of glucose, or what is the optimum level of glucose in blood that you learned in the previous classes, 9th? Do you remember? Okay. It is 70 to 110 mg per 100 ml. This is the level of glucose in blood. In blood, the optimum level of glucose is 70 to 110 mg per 100 ml. The level of glucose is maintained by insulin and glucagon. Okay, insulin and glucagon are the different hormones maintaining the level of glucose. This is what we saw in the function of insulin and glucagon. Remember this point, level of glucose, optimum level of glucose is 70 to 110 mg per 100 ml. Whenever we check our blood, it should be between 70 and 110. This is the normal case. It can be up to 120, maximum 126. If it is above 120, as per WHO, World Health Organization, above 126 is diabetics. It is defect or disorder. Okay. This 70 to 110 mg is maintained by the hormones insulin and glucagon. Now see, keeping in mind the level of glucose in blood, let us see that here. See the illustration. Level of glucose in blood is 70 to 110 mg per 100 ml. When it is high and when it is low. Okay, when the level is low and when the level is high. Low means below 70. High means above 110. When it reaches above 110, high, when we consume more sugar, normally sugar level go high. Okay, glucose is otherwise known as sugar. Glucose level go high. Then glucagon, when it go high, glucagon decreases. Level of glucagon, hormone production of glucagon decreases and insulin increases. Level of insulin increases and insulin convert glucose to glycogen. In blood, when the glucose is high, insulin converts glucose to glycogen, and secondly, it enhances the uptake of glucose by cells. If cells consume more glucose, naturally level of glucose becomes low. This is the role of insulin. When it becomes high, insulin increases. Beta cells produce more insulin, and the insulin converts glucose to glycogen, as well as they help the intake of glucose by cells. So the glucose level become normal. Okay. Then glucagon naturally it decreases. There is no proper role for glucagon when the level is high. Then let us see when the glucose level is low. When the glucose level become low, below 70, then production of insulin decreases. Insulin is decreasing. Then glucagon increases. Alpha cells produce more glucagon, and glucagon reveal or retract or take back the glucose from glycogen to glucose. Insulin is converting glucose to glycogen, and glucagon, what the glucagon do? Glucagon converts glycogen to glucose. And one more thing the glucagon is doing is, you saw it here, glucagon, 2 points here, converts the glycogen stored in liver to glucose. Okay. Secondly, synthesize glucose from amino acid. It synthesizes glucose from amino acid. So the level of glucose increase. In short, glucagon helping to increase the level of glucose in blood by different means. It is taking from the stored parts. Amino acid is storage. From amino acid will be converted to glucose. Glycogen will be converted to glucose. Okay, so the level of glucose increase in blood. Okay, this is the role of insulin and glucagon. This is the gland we learned, that is pancreas. Pancreas is producing insulin and glucagon. In pancreas there are alpha cell and beta cell. Alpha cells produce glucagon, beta cell produce insulin. You saw the role of insulin and glucagon. And the defect is in the next class. This is the 8th version of the class. In the 9th version already published, and in the 9th version you can see the continuation. Okay. Now you write the indicators. Okay. And you complete the illustration given in textbook, that is 3.3. Okay. Thank you for listening. Bye.